what's interesting about that is even, just a year ago, 2 years ago, the term functional medicine was, less commonly used. And if you did a Google search for functional medicine, you actually came up with a lot of very, kind of non-traditional ideas and websites and blogs, things that were much more kind of like, I don't know, like crystals and incense and things like that, where, really at its root, it seems like it's on the far left side of the spectrum, whereas clinical medicine would be over here, but really they're kind of addressing the exact same thing. It's diving deeper, understanding what's going on, understanding the whys.
Yeah, I think and you still, if you Wikipedia functional medicine or IFM right now, it's still like, it's shady. Like in the definition, it's like, who authorized that? Because it's all backed by science. It can come backwards into, you can look it up. You just have to look in a different place. It's very similar to when people say, well, vitamin C is does not clinically approved for blank and blank. It's like, you're not looking in PubMed for vitamin C. You got to look somewhere else. And here's all the data. And so it's an interesting point of view, is both sides are trying to get to the same, result, which is diagnose, treat, and manage disease. It's just the pharma approach. I call it the RX evolution. It started with acute problems. You could fix something with penicillin, right? You got an acute disease, you fixed it. And that approach became, well, what can we do for chronic conditions, which is very different from the standpoint is it's not healing the body. It's literally, like we said, blocking the symptom, which the definition of management to me is very different. And so when you look at that root cause, it all lately, especially with COVID and things like that, like everything starts to become complicated when it really could be more simple. And so I tend to not even use the word functional medicine or functional pharmacy. I kind of go functional wellness or lifestyle wellness, because we're really talking about the simple things that we could do, like with food as medicine, and really transforming lives with a simple approach. You don't need 800 SKUs of vitamins on your shelf because then we start getting back into the this then that approach, which then goes right back. I call it's green pharma. It's like you give all these supplements, but you're still hitting the masking of the symptom, not really getting down to the root, which generally is lifestyle integrative medicine, which is nutrition, exercise and movement, relationships, stress, and sleep. Like, when's the last time we talked to our patients about breathing right, when that could lower their blood pressure 10 points? So we tend in this country to be so marketed towards pharma first that you go to the doctor, and if he told you to breathe right and sleep right and gave you a prescription for that, you'd walk away unfulfilled, because we've been told, I have an ailment, I need something on this little pad where I go to the drugstore and fix it. And so trying to reframe things nowadays in that more simpler approach for people, I think is really resonating. And I think it's starting to pick up. Like you said, functional is, it's not mainstream. I don't think it ever will be. We just have a population but it's becoming more acceptable. I think especially these new generations that are coming in, they really want prevention. They don't want to get to the point where their parents are where they are. And so that pill for the ill approach is really becoming more mainstream, because science is catching up with it. I would say functional medicine is a little more like Western medicine. It's kind of catching up, but the science is proving it, which makes it resonate for us as Americans, because we need the science too. And then we have a generation that's really embracing wellness and prevention. And so now we're having this new consciousness come through that's really going to be, I think, a really good marriage between science and need. And it's really getting people's attention.
Thanks for listening to this clip from Beyond the Scripts, presented by the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please support our channel by liking, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post new content. To stay up to date with all of the latest independent pharmacy news and content, follow PioneerRx on your preferred social media platform.